People who've had a guide dog often say it's transformed their life and given them the freedom back to leave their homes again. Around here, many of them are trained at this brand new centre where I've come to lend a hand. So tell us about the dog we're going to be working with.
This is Garth.
Hello, Garth.
Between 19 and 20 months old. That's a good boy.
And what stage is he at in his training?
He's quite far on in his training now. He's ready for what we call pick-up standard. So hopefully he'll be going on to advanced training next month when he'll get a new handler.
Brilliant. Well, let's try and do some obedience with him and see how he's doing, shall we?
And then,
Good boy.
that's good lad. When they first come into the training centre, we have what we call an intake block, and we spend most of the time just bonding with the dogs for 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, depending on what what the dog's sensitivities are. Get some obedience in, find out what the dogs understand. If they know what a sit is and they're good at the sit, then perhaps concentrate on the down and work from there. Do some heel work around the kennel environment. You're gradually moving out until you can get into the arena.
And it was in the arena that I was to have my first taste of guide dog training. We had to help Garth get to know me and make sure he was happy to follow my commands. Come on, Garth.
No.
Good boy. Sit. Sit. Wait. There was so much to remember, like not giving too much praise till he'd finished the whole exercise, and also keeping the lead in my left hand. But it was such a good feeling when he did start to sit and lie down when I told him to.
That was nice, that was
Oh, good boy. Well done.
It's really nice seeing a dog, when you're first teaching it how to sit at curbs, asking it to find the curb, teaching the dog to work in a nice straight line. And once it gets to the curb, you obviously, like anything else, you've got to test them out, test the dog's knowledge, see if it gets to understand her. And when it just does that first sit at a curve, it's like, you think, wow, I've done that. I mean, sometimes it can become an everyday job, the same as everybody else, but then sometimes you just see something and it just reminds you of why you wanted to do the job. You sit back, you see a client walk through the door and you think, I've helped that. It's just little things, really.
Finding crossings is just one skill a guide dog needs, and there are many hazards they have to deal with to keep their owner safe. And the next exercise was designed to really test not only Garth, but me as well. So just describe for us where we are here and what this is for.
This is our obstacle course. We can start off initially with it as very early on in training, teaching the dogs how to bend and weave to keep the pace nice and steady. Wanting to make sure that the dog's not only thinking of itself when it's moving over to the left, but also the handler as well. So the width is important, so you don't want to be too close to that obstacle. You want to make sure that the dog will move over.
So why is it so important that the dog's able to get the owner through this sort of obstacle track?
When you go out onto the streets, it's going to be coming up in front of any kind of obstacle, and you need to make the dogs aware of what is out, not just inside in the building, but what's out on the streets as well, with your lampposts, people, bikes, children, anything.
So, blindfold on, and it's time to put all my faith and trust in a dog I only met earlier in the morning. Forward.
You come with him, so it's the widest pace now. That's it. Good boy, keep your handle down.
It was so disorientating. You lose all sense of where you are and how far you've walked.
Good lad.
It takes some confidence to let yourself go with the dog, doesn't it, at first?
It takes a lot of confidence, especially if you've not had a dog before. It must be, I can't really imagine what it must feel like.
And how did I do?
You did all right. A bit more practice probably, but yeah, you did okay. Some clients I've got quite friendly with over the years anyway, and you see how they actually get around and the difference it's made to their lives, especially if you've never had a dog before and you spent time with them and you see them get the new dog, and it's like they're just sailing away. It's just lovely. You get some clients who've never been out and they come back, they get a dog and you can't keep them in, they go from one extreme to another. But I just think it's just a new, unique job.
What do you think's the most rewarding part of your job?
I think it's when it's with the client, and it's actually gone to the client. And you hear that it's qualified and, you know, it's made the grade, and you think that it's all been worthwhile.
And thank you for guiding me through there. Yes. Oh. Oh. Thank you, Garth.